into this game.
Indeed. In the bottom right, we have from Team Druidz once again the red Protoss history. And in the bottom left from Knights Gaming, Mobywan coming back from a 1-0 deficit. Probably might be the first one of the night trying to come back and actually maybe doing it successfully. It's Knights Mobywan.
Definitely. So right now we're gonna see, does Mobywan do the same thing 3 times in a row? Does he go for that early gate, early cybernetics core, early warp gate?
It might be a bit. It would be a bit silly though if he did. But.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if he did it again. I mean, sure, it worked out in game number 2. Does history, after seeing the same build 2 times in a row, building it once, messing it up once, does he really mess up again and not hold again? I don't think he does. Not if he spots it coming in and all of that. So I think it's too risky for Mobywan. Yet he still goes for an 11 gateway. Well,
on a 2-player map, it's rather. Well, I wouldn't say it's predictable, but it's easy to scout it. I mean, history, he's seen the build 2 times now. He knows what worked against it, he knows what didn't work against it. So as soon as we see him scouting this, I would expect him to think like, okay, I just got to throw down a robo, hold off, and I'll be safe once I get a single immortal. Very vigilant scouting from him around his base though, because he knows that an aggressive player like Mobywan might be very tempted to go for a proxy 2 gate.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, to have the nerves to go for a proxy 2 gate when it's 1-1, wow, I don't know if I could do it, but some players definitely will, and history just making sure it's not going to happen to him. And Mobywan doing the exact same with his probe, just slightly later on, checking for that, sees nothing, and these probes just passing by as both players going to scout. History going to be the first player to scout this time around, and again, he's going to see, well, your cybernetics core is faster, your gateway is faster. I wonder what this could be. That's going to be his thought process, and there's not really much to put together here apart from the fact that it's probably the same thing.
You might be thinking like, really? Like, are you not faking me out here? Is this really the same build? Really? And that's just mind games on its own, you know? Doing the same build 3 times in a row is just so unexpected, especially once you lost the first game with it. So, we have Warp Gate on the way for Moby. Cybernetics score about to finish for Druidz history, who has a bit of a bank. So I'm really curious to see as to what he's going to throw down now in terms of building. He's going for a Zealot first, which will not do very well against the Stalker for Moby, which just popped out.
No, definitely not. And well, this ad's just going to start clearing out them rocks right now. So it's just kind of a safety thing that history seems to keep doing, getting that Zealot out. And again, the cybernetics scores, the warp gates aren't really too far apart, 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, this was by the way before the patch, which fixed that if you right-clicked on it with army units, they would attack it. So clearing them out in a battle like this, you know, around the map would actually be a very good idea.
Fair enough. That's actually a good point, because that was recently, right?
Yeah, very recently, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Robo being thrown down for history, being an absolutely crucial point in the game here, because once he does get that immortal out, it's going to be very hard for Mobywan to successfully, you know, break through with just gateway units, which seems to be his plan. Another 3 gates. I expect to see a pylon somewhere soon, and Mothership Core with a bunch of stalkers moving out onto the map.
Yes, again, very kind of repetitive strategies coming out of Mobywan here. As history now with a probe, just going to try and see if he can see what's up. He sees 2 stalkers coming across the map, and well, he's seen something like this before, so can he hold on again? He's going to... I'd be surprised if he didn't Chrono Boost out the Immortal immediately in this kind of situation, and I think he's got enough to hold on for now as well, with the Mothership Core, another Stalker just coming in there, and, well, we'll just wait
Mobywan needs to steamroll it.
Yeah.
That's really the only option, but it's
well, the
front pylon is late.
So, yeah, I mean, history about it warp in. Mobywan can't really warp in because that proxy pylon is definitely late. So, Mobywan, has he maybe messed this up and lost his opportunity here? I mean, if he'd had a warp in already, this could be different, and already back at home, starting up a Stargate, and warping in the center here might just look for some kind of soft contain.
This is a good move. I mean, I think Mobywan, yeah, he saw the robo, so he knows there should be an immortal at this point. Warping in the sentry into Zealot, so he can actually effectively engage the robo, the immortal if he wants to. Even more importantly, he's going Stargate back home. So going something like Phoenix will actually counter the immortal very decently. You know, in terms of income, they're exactly the same. They both have 26 probes. So he's not behind yet in any sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Building
well,
up.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually pretty even. The Stargate is supposed well. There's a Void Ray coming down, and Void Ray is of course very good against Immortals because Immortals can't shoot her. So,
Oh, and throwing down expansion. So very good decision here making here by Mobywan, I feel, seeing that he can't just go for this because he will lose. There's 2 Immortals on the map, and just decided to passively contain, somewhat soft contain his opponent. Meanwhile, going for an expansion and Stargate tech in order to defend it.
but history is going to be going for Warp Prism, and if Mobywan maybe overcommits, stays on his opponent's side of the map too long, that could very well be a little bit of trouble. And actually coming down the ramp here is
Oh,
history.
no force field from Moby.
Yeah, no force field at all, using his time warp there.
Oh.
And, well, that was a nice little move from history, not letting himself get over-contained or anything. And does he decide to expand now? Yeah, I think he does. His probe's on the way down. Probably just going to expand, use this Warp Prism for harass, and, you know, if he wants, he can throw down the Robo Bay and get that Warp Prism speed maybe, and maybe just use that a little bit if he wants, but we'll have to see if he does want to do that, as we have a little bit of a skirmish in the middle of the map. Time Warp going down again from Mobywan. His mothership causing a little bit of trouble, being chased down by Stalkers.
Yes, and also keep in mind that there's a Warp Prism currently heading into the main of Mobywan, who only has 3 gates for warping Robot Bay of his own on the way. These 2 Void Rays are going to be incredibly valuable because there's only 3 Stalkers at the front of history, and he does not have a pylon. I said he doesn't have a pylon, he has a freaking Warp Prism in his opponent's main.
Yeah, them Zealots have started ripping apart the probes in the mineral line, and now history trying to probe the front, but the Void Rays are going to turn him away. His proxy pylon getting taken down there. More Stalkers actually being warped in here. History, he wants to kind of team up here. He's got quite a lot of units here.
Mobywan needs to force field his ramp. He needs to force field the ramp, and he
kind of
does,
gets it. The Void
only
Rays
barely.
Wow. Oh, wow, Void Rays are good, man. Check that out, but look at this, history doing a lot of damage, supply blocking Mobywan right now, picking off a Stalker here, Stalker there, but here comes another Void Ray, and these Stalkers having to back off. Can they pick off this one Void Ray? That would be absolutely huge, and yes,
oh, the Void
do.
Ray going down, actually, yeah, that's a huge move, and Mobywan right now in a lot of trouble. He's actually losing the fight in the, right in the middle of his main, meanwhile at the front, trying to engage and finding this one Immortal, actually picking off, and still having 2 Void Rays in his main army, but these 2 gateways are going to get unpowered now because this one pylon falls down, and, well, Mobywan not looking too good of a position at this point.
Mobywan, he's kind of struggling right now. He's not going to have any production. With no production, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and, well, he's still, I think right now he's got the better army, but for how long does he have the better army for is the real question.
He's not keeping his Void Rays with the rest of his army. Very tough fight for him at this point. Keep in mind that history is all in at this point because he has not built his own. He's actually cancelled his own Nexus in favor of warping in, and now he's going to run around his opponent's main. And
the Void Rays, one of them's going to go down here, but no, it's actually going to get away. No, it will not. Probe's being pulled now as well. The second Void Ray going to go down as history's now cleaning out down at the natural as well, and it looks like history's going to be able to do this, finally reuniting his army, joining them up together. And Mobywan, he's going to lose his Nexus here. And, well, yeah, he gets his probes back into the main base, but now history definitely has the army advantage. He has the supply advantage, and what a fantastic game between these 2 players.
Yeah, the supply difference really tells the story here, but what great play by history, going for that Warp Prism, deciding that he won't let Moby just sit up there and macro up an army of whatever he wants to make. He probably could tell that from the fact that Moby was not warping in additional units at the front that he was doing something back home, and decided to punish him for it.
Yeah, really great moves from history. That Warp Prism just critical in this. I mean, without that Warp Prism, history never really breaks the front at all, I don't think. So, really great moves. More Stalkers being warped in from that Warp Prism. Now, some Zealots trying to help deal with that. And, well, Mothership Core coming up here to help take down that sentry. And now
he needs to take down that Warp Prism. And he doesn't get it with only a few HP left. And now the force of history comes barreling up the ramp. Might not be a correct use of English there, and Mobywan finally having to pull his probes once again, and looks like he's going to be forced to take a very unfavorable fight, which, with that Immortal in the back and the Time Warp going down, it seems it's almost impossible for him to win at this stage. Warp Prism coming in with 4 more Stalkers, and it looks like Mobywan really is going to have to concede at this point.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything he can do at all. Very well played game. GG, good luck, very well managed.
exciting series here by both.
Great series by both. Mobywan a little bit predictable with his build, but changing it up after his opening. And wow, great games between